This is a story about a magic bed. Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Georgie. That bed is far too small for you now, Georgie. Why don't you and Frank go down to the shopping centre to buy a new one? Said Mum. On the way to the shopping centre, Georgie saw a shop that sold old beds. Look, Frank, said Georgie. Maybe they'll have a bed in there. They parked the car and went inside. Do you have a bed that would be right for this boy? Said Frank. Beds? Yes, I have a little old bed somewhere, said the man. After some time, the man found the bed. The lady this bed came from said it was magic, he said, and that you can travel in it. Frank and Georgie bought the bed. They tied the bed to the top of the car and took it home. Georgie and Frank cleaned the bed all over. Look, Georgie, said Frank, there's some writing here. It's hard to see. What does it say? It says, in this bed you will travel far. First say your prayers and then say... I can't read this last word. It says, something, y. M something Y. What on earth have you got there? Said Georgie's granny. Why did you get that awful old bed? Why didn't you go to the shopping centre and buy a new one? It's a lovely bed, said George, and it's magic. I can travel in it. That evening, Georgie got ready for bed a little bit early. He brushed his teeth, washed his face, and got into bed. He said his prayers and then he tried to say the magic word. He tried to say money, matey, mummy, murky, molly, Mandy, Millie, Messy, Minty, Mousy. But nothing happened, and Georgie went to sleep. How did you get on last night in your magic bed? Did you go to the moon or to the Amazon? Said Daddy. No, I didn't. The next night, Georgie went to bed early again and tried to guess the magic word. He must have got it right because suddenly he was travelling way over the city in his bed. Georgie's bed landed in a field. Lots of gnomes and fairies arrived, and he read them a bedtime story. At breakfast the next day, Georgie decided not to tell anybody about where he had been during the night. And that evening Georgie was off again. This time he was travelling over the jungle. Georgie came across a young tiger that was lost. It had wandered away from its parents and didn't know how to get back home. He took the younger tiger back to its mother and father, who were very pleased that George had found the child. On one of his journeys, George found a chest full of treasure in a cave. But there were some pirates who were very angry because they thought the treasure was theirs, and they chased Georgie down the beach. He only just managed to escape in his bed. Some nights Georgie would go for a swim with the dolphins, which was why his bed was sometimes wet in the morning. Another night Georgie gave a lift to some geese that were very tired because they'd flown a long way. Then he had to race with some witches. Then came the day when they went away on the holidays. They waved goodbye to Georgie's granny and set off. While they were away, Georgie forgot all about his magic bed, and he had such a good time. And when the holiday ended and they all came home, his granny said something to him that shook him. There's a lovely present for you, Georgie. It's in your room, said his granny. Georgie ran upstairs, rushed to his room, opened the door, and there in the corner was a brand new bed. What have you done with my magic bed? Said Georgie. Oh, that nasty old bed. We went down and we threw it out in the trash, said Granny. Oh no! Georgie raced out of the house, down the steps, along the road to the dump where the trash was. He just managed to get through the gates as the dump was closing. There on top of the rubbish skip was Georgie's magic bed. Georgie climbed up into the skip. He leaped into his bed, said the magic word, and the bed rose quickly into the sky. Now, if you lie very still in your bed and find your magic word, perhaps you could travel far away like Georgie. The end.